Welcome to Agency Tribe number 10. I'm Barry Alt, along with my co-host Urszula Richards. We'd like to welcome our guest, Stephanie Campanella from Summit Digital. Stephanie is a thought leader focusing on motivating business owners to dial into the metrics of their business so they can create recurring profit and freedom. After building two amazing brands in the property and construction niche, she's now focused on giving back to the industry through her ecosystem of free content and also paid consulting. For those of you in Brent Weaver's Uyghurs community, Stephanie was a Uyghurs coach for the Australian region back in 2015. This month, Stephanie will teach us how to grow recurring revenue with 90-day plans. You will learn how to create a proposal which knocks out elements which you'll deliver over the next 90 days by picking easy wins. Your clients will gain more trust in you and your services. Take it away, Steph.
Cool. Everyone can hear me? Nodding. I'm getting nodding. Cool.
Yes,
all right. So it's extremely early here, as Ursh mentioned. So what I'm going to do, Barry, is I'll share my screen, and then that way I can walk you guys through.
Yeah, and anybody who hasn't been here before, there is a chat box. You can put your chat comments in if you have any questions. If you'd like to chat during the presentation, raise your hand. You can unmute your mic and ask questions. Other than that, we can save the questions till the end, and Stephanie will answer all.
Cool beans. So you can see my big blue slide. You can. All right, sweet. All right. So let's learn to sell 90-day plans and inject some cash into the business. So let's just check if we're all on the same page here first, yeah? So you've turned up because you want an easier way to get ongoing work going. You believe that recurring revenue is, the best thing for your business, and you want more of it. I can't explain the way that when it hits the first of the month, and you've already got an income because you've got all these reoccurring contracts. You don't have to dive into your Rolodex or phone or whatever and go, holy cow, where am I going to pull some money out this month? You've got, deadlines and payment milestones that are killing your cash flow. So, if you're focused on building big web projects and you might get a cash injection at the start of the bill, let's say 10 grand here, and then you're waiting for another 5 grand here, another 5 grand here, or whatever it is. They're massive cash investments, like injections that you're just waiting for. And then you can only, you've got to get to your milestone first before you can even do the thing. Yeah. So I'm going to sort of teach you some few things so you can take some action. And I'm going to show you how to quickly generate some profit in 90 days. And not only like for you to generate some profit, but for you to make an impact in someone else's business and grow trust, and then get hired for the rest of the year. Yeah. Is that, am I getting some nods there? Here we go. I can see you guys now.
That sounds so good.
All right, cool.
I've got easy access to the talk button.
Hey, what'd you say?
Oh, I've got easy access to the talk button. So I'm just going, yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. All right. So I don't know, is this familiar? Yeah. Like, people don't have the budget of 10K, let's say, and you're trying to, ram every, week or month and try and get some business going, but people just don't have the, that lump sum to go, yeah, I'll sign you off. You want to bank some bucks, you want to get some cash in the business so that you can, A, maybe you're not even paying yourself, or B, you want to hire someone so that you can duplicate yourself. You're trying to get retainers in place, but they don't seem to be sticking, and people are like, oh, is that 6 months? I'm not real sure. I don't think I can sign up for 6 months or 12 months. Have you got anything shorter? That's just a trust question. So this sort of structure I'm going to teach you actually helps break through it and grow trust. So, I mean, I've been doing websites for so long. And, I think when you first start, you get into the business, you're like, yeah, I'm going to be a web designer and I'm going to be super profitable. And it's like the best job ever. But I think soon you find out that websites are a massive pain in the bum. And there's so much work involved. I mean, the amount of times you go and chase copy and then the client doesn't understand why you need the copy first. Can't you design it first? It's like, oh my God, like what's going to be on the page? How can I put the page together if I don't even know what the content is? Like, oh, we'll give it to you when it launches. It's just, there's so many pain points from building websites that make them an absolute pain in the bum. So let's try and change that. So recurring revenue gives you the confidence to then pitch for these big jobs, because you know you don't need the money, yeah? So like I was saying before, on the first of the month when it ticks over and you got all your invoices cranked in, if your invoices are set for the first of the month, the 15th of the month, that's how I like to do it. That way there's only really 2 big invoice days. On the first of the month, you can look at your P&L and you can go, wow, holy cow, there's already sales in my month end. Now, if you're trying to sell websites, I mean, you got to do the groundwork for that. You got to do all the legwork. So let's talk about how we can actually apply ourselves and find some 90-day clients. Yeah. So let's walk through this. So you guys might be doing maintenance plans or care plans. Yeah. So like, you know, if it's a WordPress site, you might be doing a little bit of plugins and some security updates. You know, you might be entering a little bit of content here and there. I mean, you might be doing some marketing stuff, but you know, if you've got a few clients that are just kind of sitting there on like hosting only or like really low ball and they're not doing anything with their website, well, then those guys are the perfect guys to attack and go after and try and make an impact to them. So the first thing I like to do is review all my existing customers and identify some challenges they might be having. Yeah. So I might get my team to go through the list of back clients and go, who haven't we spoken to in the last 6 months, a year? God, who knows how long you've left it since you've spoken to your clients. But look at them and go, right, okay, so we built the site. Sweet. Okay, cool. So we know how it works. What are the things that maybe we can fix with the site? Because obviously as time goes on, there's always things to do. So you can brainstorm some ideas and go, wow, like, you know, this is actually what the site looks like from a you know, someone that's in marketing rather than just the client not sure what, you know, they're not sure what to do. Brainstorm some ideas as to how you can solve some issues. So like I always I'm a big SEMrush fan, the SEO tool. I like to throw my client's URL into SEMrush and just see like where are they ranked, and then look up a few of their keywords and go, right, so there's their competitor. Okay, now what's their competitor look like? And I'll show you an example, template. But when you show a client, like here's where you are and here's where your competitors are, and I know how to get you to here, it's just a no-brainer. And especially if you say like in 90 days, I mean, you know, not in 90 days we're going to get first page position of Google. That's ridiculous. But you know, hey, in the next 90 days, we're going to clean up all the things that are wrong with your website and build it so it's a bit more of a sales machine. Does that work for you? And usually they go, yes, please. So 90-day proposal template. So, and what this does is, rather than going in with a big website proposal and going, oh, you know, these are the problems and these are the solutions and, you know, this is what's going on and it's going to cost you $10K to fix this thing. You can come in here and go, look, these are the things that are wrong with the site. And over the next 90 days, I can fix them with you. Now, if this is an existing client, they already know how you work and they're going to be like, yeah, sweet. Okay, cool. You know, come in and fix this stuff. When you're doing some outreach and you're trying to generate some new clients, say in your niche, then what this does is actually puts trust and impact first, rather than that big 12-month, you know, marketing retainer, let's say. It's easy for them because they know they've only got 3 months or 90 days to test you. So that that way you can get in there and make a bit of a schedule of changes you're going to make, and yeah, get some quick wins going. So that's that. Now, when you write the proposal, obviously, you want to get them on a call. You want to send the proposal and get them on a call and walk them through it. I never like to just send a proposal and then just let it go out into the wind, because that means that that piece of paper is basically doing all the work for you. You want to make sure that you walk them through it. So every time I send one of these, I'll also send a Calendly link so that way they can book themselves into my diary. And like, I mean, have a quick squeeze, but don't stress too much. Just book yourself in. You've got a copy, I've got a copy, and let's walk through it together. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I like to do the proposal talks. Obviously, once you have the go ahead, you can work on the quick wins. So 30, 60, 90 days. So let's take a step back. So 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. So what the hell does this mean, right? So the first one of these I did was for a tourism website. I got introduced to the lady. It was a, referral. Go talk to Steph. I went in there, and I mean, I don't want to do quick fixes. Like, no thanks. I don't want to pick up someone else's website, make the changes, and then see you later. Like that is completely unprofitable. I have no idea what this beast looks like. And what am I going to invest time for my team to get into that business, fix the things, and then just walk away? I'm not making any hosting residual. There's no care plan. There's no marketing plan. So why would I want to stretch myself and just do one thing and completely walk away? Then I got to go find another client and do one thing, and then, a whole new process and walk away. So instead, what I did was I looked at the website and I went, right, so this person, obviously, they need help. That's why they come to us, because they want help. And the good clients are looking for partnership. So they're not just looking for someone to, make a quick few changes. I mean, if they want to be in business, then they're going to want someone to continue to work with them as their business grows. And they just want their business to grow. They have no idea what it looks like online. All they know is that they need to get back to doing what they're doing. So this particular client, what I did was easy wins. The footer was rubbish. Yeah. So it had like no site links. It just had like, 2015 copyright, business name, sitemap, blah. So what we did was we put a nice big footer in I identified that we need a big footer. And they had the old branding of the other agency that they hated because they dicked them around so much. So she's like, oh my God, if you could remove that, that would mean the world to me. So it's like understanding the key things that she really wanted and then what we could actually perform, all went into the proposal. And these are the things we were like brainstorming together, yeah? So it's like, fix the footer, no favicon, the little image in the top of the browser, title tags sucked. The further we digged, there was no analytics, there was no robots text, like all the basic SEO stuff was missing. So I knew that if I could schedule all these changes over the next 30, 60, and 90 days, that we could get this website back into Google and maybe get some rankings back. Because in SEMrush, the SEO reporting tool, I could see that. I don't know, I'm using my hands a lot. I don't know if you guys can actually see me. But, the website was like tracking really well. And then this brand, this web agency built the new site, didn't do any 301 redirects. She doesn't know what that is, but the site just tanked. All she knows is that she was getting calls and now she's not getting calls. And if I turn up and go, I can see exactly when this happened. Like if I can go, in January, were there less calls? She's like, yes, there was less calls in January. I'm like, I'm going to fix that. And it like, seriously. So 30 days, we did small little things, like a favicon, add analytics, so I didn't write the content. She didn't write the content. We also got a copywriter on board and they looked at all the content and how dry it was. And then they wrote all the content so that we could re-implement it. So then we also brought on another partner, which was a massive value add. She didn't have to go and find a copywriter. We have one, of course, because we work with copywriters all the time because we're in web, yeah? So 30 days, quick little wins. 60 days, we got the copywriter in to start running the content. By 90 days, the site was all back up and connected to Google. And at that 60-day point, she actually called and said, I'm actually getting calls from the website again. I'm like, yes, you know, like she's already getting wins and we're 1 month in. Yeah. So yeah, by 90 days, we'd looked at imagery. We changed all the text on the site. We had a new navigation style. Oh my God, the blog was just like dumped there in like a template version. So we actually went and added some little design styles, removed all the default links, WordPress.org and all that sort of stuff. So over 90 days, she was just like blown away by the amount of action that we took. Now, I was saying here before, at day 80, right? At day 80 in a 90-day plan, you schedule a call. So obviously when you start, you put a marker in the diary for day 80 and you schedule a call with that customer because they would have gone through such a journey, for lack of words, with you. And the 80-day mark is really about discussing the next step and putting another proposal in front of this person, because you've actually said that you were going to do something. You had a plan. You actually implemented it. That's a first for most web devs, most web designers. They don't answer the phone. They don't do the work. They get bogged down in work. They don't answer their emails. If you're actually turning up, you have a plan and you're doing the work, then you're going to be more successful than most of the marketplace. Yeah. So day 80, so it's in the diary. Make sure that you've got that call going. Rookie mistakes. So let's get some quick wins going. Yeah. So spending time with customers who constantly drive in price, we just need to stop that. And if we had a whole bunch of 90-day care plans in our, in our area, in our sort of forefront, and we had some little residuals coming along, then we wouldn't have to break our back working with customers who just want to drive down price. Yeah. All right. So there's some quick wins. Position yourself as a hero. And that's what this 90-day, process does, because you basically swoop in, you take over, you say, everything's going to be okay. I got you. Come chill here. My team and I are going to take care of you. Fact 2, setting the goals shows that you're putting the client first. Goal setting is insane. And when a web developer turns up to a business and goes, hey, I've got a 90-day plan, and these are all the things that we're going to do. Would you like to do it together? It's like, holy cow, this person has a plan. Like, this is actually going to work. I can see the plan. We can just put it in place. The other thing here is that if you can win them in 90 days, you can win them for life. So even with big marketing contracts, the first 90 days are essential to winning the client for the next year. If you can build trust straight away and give them some wins straight away, then they're going to be a little bit eased, because again, as we know, our market, anyone can walk in here and start being a web developer. They can hire someone offshore and start selling stuff, and away you go, you got a business. But if you can actually prove to your client that you can plan the work and do the work and roll it out and no issues, then they're really going to love you for life. All right, so what have I got here? I'm just going to change screens. I'm actually going to show you like an example here. I do all my slides in Google Slides PS, yeah? Okay, so, this is it clicking over? Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is like, I don't just take photos of myself all the time. Customer's name here and my photo. So right now, you'd put obviously your customer's name, and then instead of a photo of me, you'd put like, because this was a travel client, so I put like Hamilton Island, most beautiful, off the Great Barrier Reef, gorgeous island. And what that did was it helped the client see their product inside the template, inside the proposal, I should say. Yeah. So it's like, oh, that's something that's familiar to me, and now I can relax. So just really good, mindset sort of shift. I always start with key problems to solve. Yeah. I never just start talking about myself. I just want to get straight into it, cut to the chase, and get to all the problems that I found inside their business. So, et cetera, et cetera. There was images, there was the bad footer, there was no SSL, there's no backups. The backups are actually on the server. It's like, well, if the site got hacked, someone would just delete the backups off the server and then you have no backups. Like, that's not really cool. So I put a laundry list of points, and then on the following pages, I go through and reiterate the point and expand on it. Yeah. So quick laundry list. And this is something that they can send over to their CEO or something. The computer is like, oh my God, I'm like clicking and it's clicking over. Here we go. So image, obviously, you know, bad images on the website. You have bad stock images on your website. Wouldn't you love to actually have a website that looks like you and not just some stock library of crazy photos of people just shaking hands and looking like they're on holidays? Like, haven't you got photos of people that are actually on holidays? So you go through and list all those items. 4, 5, 6, there we go. This is that SEM Rush report I was talking about. I love to compare, like, you know, where the client was and then where the client should be or where their competitor is. And this is basically that report, yeah? Clicking, here we go. Whoa. Okay. I like to have like breathers in my proposals. So like right before that SEM Rush report, I then come in and show a quote. And this is like, it can be from yourself. It can be from, you know, Gary V, someone of influence that they might know. It might be someone high in the, you know, in the travel world, like a leader. They're like, oh my God, I know that person. Like, again, you want to make them feel really familiar with your proposal and make it seem like it's not foreign. I dig further into position analysis. I'm like, hey, here's where you are. Like, I'm a big marketing SEO fan, so I show them a lot of this stuff. I then break with another lead. So I'm making sure that I'm walking through the problems that they have, the laundry list. I identify the problems. I then show them some competitor analysis. I take a break and breathe. I then hit them again with position analysis. Like, that's heavy. I then take a moment and breathe. I then go, hey, here's where your website got redeveloped and here's where it completely tanked. Like, does this sound right? And they're like, oh my God, like, here's the data to back the thought that I was thinking. Surely my site's disappeared off Google. And then this chick's just showing me exactly when. Oh my God, like, I have to have her. She's obviously knows exactly what's going on my website. I have another breakout point. And then this is the only slide on myself, yeah? Like, that's it. I never really talk. Like, there's no point going, oh, we've been in business for 50 years and blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff, because it's like, who cares? It's not about you. It's about the customer and all their problems. So you want to make sure that you talk about them more than you talk about yourself. So yeah, how's that?
It
Awesome.
looks pretty cool.
Should we jump into some questions?
Absolutely. Anybody want to turn on their unmute? Feel free to hop on your mic and ask Stephanie any questions you'd like.
Hey,
Morning,
Barry, I can
Steph.
start if you want.
Oh. Hey.
Oh, you beat me to it, Christina.
G'day.
Ladies go first.
They always do.
Always do. Steph, what happens if the client's actually not interested in details? So I find sometimes clients are just, they want a website, they want it working, but they don't actually want to know all the details with regards to why it's not working. They just...
Okay. So I would just go straight to, I'll have your credit card and can we get started? I mean, don't be afraid to ask for the sale, right? Like, the more times that we ask for the sale, the more times we're going to get the sale. So if they're not concentrating and not even looking and they're on their phone, you're like, hey, looks like you're pretty familiar with all this stuff. Let's just go through the quick laundry list again. These are all the key things I've identified. I'm just going to fix them all. Does that work for you? Yes. Like, just hold and ask them a question. Does that work for you? Okay, great. Here's the credit card form. What's the card number? Steph Campanella, you know, etc. I just ask for the business.
So jump to the sale.
Just, yeah, ask for the sale.
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
you're going to do the work. You know, you're going to make an impact. And if they don't want to see the whole thing, ask for the sale. I had a guy, I got a whole funnel thing going on. The guy literally, you know, saw something on Facebook, booked into my calendar, got on a sales call. He could not care less what I had to say. He just wanted to get to the credit card point. I was like, holy cow, 8 minutes. That's great. Here we go. No worries. We'll just get you onboarded. Went straight to the team. So yeah, don't be afraid that if they seem like they're darting around, would you like to start? Does this make sense? Do you want to start?
Right, cool. Thanks.
Legend.
I just had a quick question. We actually use an SEO tool as well for doing diagnosis for client site, and it's actually helped quite a lot. But you mentioned Calendly.
Yeah.
How do you keep Calendly up to date? Because we're like struggling trying to keep this thing up to date. It's like we keep bouncing around to Google Calendar, and it's like
Oh, really?
I think it's such a great thing, but it's like, oh yeah, did you update Calendly? Totally forget, and then people are booking appointments when we don't have availability. So
Okay.
I'm just wondering if you have any like systems
Yeah.
in place that you go, okay, every morning we're gonna, knock off our stuff or.
Okay, so Aaron, Calendly actually syncs with, say, Google Calendar, right? So I'm a Google Calendar fan. I make sure that my week in Google Calendar is all planned out. If I need some time to just chill in here and do a podcast or do some videos for Facebook or whatever, that's in my calendar for the week, and that way that syncs to Calendly, and no one can book a time there. Like that, you might be missing a step.
Yeah, I think I'm missing a step. I think that's.
So I got a 15-minute link in Calendly, and I got a 55-minute link in Calendly. Now, depending on what sort of client you are, you're going to get one or the other. If you're a brand new client, you get the 15 minutes because that's all you get. I'm not going to sit here for an hour and listen to what's going on.
Yeah.
You should have seen enough marketing to go, Steph's the right one for us. Okay, let's book a time in, and obviously it's a sales call.
Yeah.
So in Calendly, like quick wins, I guess. You can say that for every booking that you have set up in Calendly, you can buffer. So you can buffer half an hour before and half an hour after, so that Calendly goes, okay, so there's that meeting at 10 o'clock. That now means that nothing can happen at 9:30 and nothing can happen at, till 11:30.
Yeah.
Like it'll buffer it.
I think the step I'm missing is I'm able to get, like, when people book on Calendly, it goes into my Google Calendar, no problem. It's the other way around. That's
right.
Spots, right?
Maybe
So I'll figure it out.
Disconnect and connect. I think, yeah. Best tool ever.
I'd say it's definitely the sync, because it just reads your calendar and doesn't book it during those times.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Legend. I like your Barry, your comment here. Sounds familiar. Not paying yourself. It's like, why do we get into business? Not to not pay ourselves. We got into business for to hang out with the family, or to go on holidays, or just to not deal with corporate 9 to 5. Like, so our business owes us some cash. We got to drive that cash in.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on paying our bills off. So the bills get paid before I get paid. We are working on that though. And Aaron, I put in Book Like a Boss there. I used Calendly before and it worked fine. Book Like a Boss, I think, has got a nicer interface on it. Works similar.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I think we're up for renewal soon, so I will definitely check it out.
Cool.
Steph, with your slide deck, are you doing any cold assessment? So just to grab some work, are you trolling to find sites that have got issues, or are you just trying to pick up existing clients that have got them?
We didn't actually have a chance to do any cold outreach, but we could definitely do cold outreach. I mean, it's just a case of going, one of my staff, jump into Google and search for, Sydney travel agent, let's say, and then find everyone that's on page 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're all perfect clients because they all are almost there, but they're not page 1. They're people that are probably working on marketing, but they're not quite there yet. So yeah, that's where I sort of start from a cold outreach perspective. You can send them a video so you can make a quick snapshot. Hey, I'm Steph and I'm looking at your site right now. Here it is. Boom. I can see there's 3 or 4 things wrong. There's no logo or there's broken links. I'd love to help that. If you're looking for a partner, then I'd love to partner with you for the next 90 days and get that fixed.
That's cool. do you, for the 90 days, do you do a set budget, or do you say, we'll work with you for 90 days and
Yep. So how do I price it? So I know that my developers cost a certain amount of money every month, right?
Right.
So I got a budget for 3 months worth of a developer. And obviously he doesn't work on the same site every single day, every month, but I want to allocate a good percentage of his time and my time and then put the balance over the 3 months and then just go, right, well, this is what's going to cost you. You know, this is just, that's what's going to cost. Would you like me to break that up into 3 payments if it's a big lump sum, or would you just like to pay up front and get started? The faster that we can get paid, obviously, the better. So I always like to open with, well, here's the bill, and, you know, let's take your card. I always take card because I'm not a fan of direct debit. I want the customer's card on file so we can process the charge. And also then if there's any small residuals that are coming up, well, I've already got your card on file. Are you ready to do this? Yep, no worries. Okay, we'll get started. I'll send you the invoice. There's no debt collection.
So using Stripe for card payments?
I use Stripe or eWay, an Australian brand.
Right. Cool. Thanks.
So Stephanie, after the 90 days, is the retainer likely to be the same amount, or does that then change? What happens in your experience?
Nah, it's up and down. So the travel agent one went on to a bigger SEO plan. So that was a much bigger plan. It was in 12 months. So that was a very good win. Other people just crank it back down to like a basic care plan, like, you know, $400 or $500 a month. So yeah, it really depends on what you're offering. And obviously you don't want to just sell 90-day plans and then go, I don't know what to do next. You want to have a real clear idea of like, these are the core products that me and my business offer to clients. This is bait. Like the 90-day action plan is bait to get people in, get them trusting you, and then basically continue with the rest of your plan. Yeah.
Yeah, so you basically just see what is left or what they might need that they would be happy to continue spending on, but it wouldn't necessarily be the same along the same lines because you've fixed the big fix, the easy wins.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be the same. So if we fix like the footer design and the blog design and, you know, the images or the copyright, let's say, it might be an online store, let's say, if you're into that. So then there might be heaps more work that you could do, you know, and you can set up another 90-day plan. You know what? Over the next 90 days, we're now going to take care of the store. We can see that we have a massive abandoned cart, or we don't even have an abandoned cart process. Would you like to put that in place? That's going to capture more clients that were almost ready to buy, but they didn't buy. So there's so many ways to then go, okay, if you just want to do, you know, basic, you know, make changes to the site, well, then there's always ways to make it, okay, let's go another 90 days. Or like for us, we know like we're big on SEO, on marketing, pay-per-click. So we know if we can get the client in and fix all the leaky bucket issues, we can then turn on some marketing, inject some marketing, and then they can start getting some results.
I have
Does
a
that make
question.
sense, Serge?
Unless you're, oh, sorry. Unless you're done.
Hey,
yet.
Will.
Yes, it does.
William?
Well, Stephanie, I would just like to add one thing that you said. And in your presentation, you talked about moving the client to the next level of the organization with the copy. That is brilliant. Very, very smart, smart thing to do. That's often one of the key steps I found that earlier on in my career I didn't do. And I just really wanted to applaud you on that. That is exceedingly well done.
What was it? Sorry? I didn't hear the first.
You mentioned just as a single, almost throwaway line about the fact that you thought about who that person you're presenting to has to present to the CEO in order to get it approved. And, eventually I thought about the whole process, like who is on your team? What do you need in order to present to them? And here it all is. And I just really wanted to call that out, that, you went over that quickly because you were doing so many other things, but that is just like super important.
Yeah, it's that top level. If you just cut everything above the line and take this to your CEO or the board meeting, this is what you can present to them. You don't have to get into the nitty gritty like Christina was saying, you know, what if they're not very detailed focused? We'll just show them the laundry list, show them all the core things that you're going to make a change to, and then there's a timeline there. In 90 days, this is what we're going to achieve.
And just one thing, you mentioned the boardroom. Whenever I'm having that conversation, if I can get in front of the board or get in front of the top people, I grab it in a heartbeat.
Amen. Got to get in front of the decision makers.
Yep.
Awesome. Hey, Stephanie, I have a question.
Yo.
And it's in regards to kind of doing the auto bill that was talked about a little earlier, where you sort of get the client's payment information up front, so you're not, you know, chasing down invoices. Just a couple months ago, we've kind of migrated to that. But something that the question that I have is, you know, how do you go about, like, because I don't feel comfortable like hitting the client's bank account for, you know, a couple grand, you know, especially if we take a large project and it's split up into, you know, multiple payments. Is this something where you like send out an email and be like, hey, by the way, you know, as planned, tomorrow we're going to bill you for this invoice? You know what I'm saying?
Anytime we touch a client's credit card, they would know about it first. They would have either had like, you know, the 90-day proposal, like, yep, you know, let's get you signed off on here. It's going to be this. Here's your invoice. You're going to be expected to be billed in the next 5 days. Like we would have a conversation about that. I don't have a problem with getting paid. Like, yeah, it's funny. I think if you just ask and you go, well, I'm going to do this. I need your payment. Is this cool? I'm going to shoot you an invoice. So it's all above board. It'll be processed in the next 5 days. Is that cool with you? Make sure there's money in the account and we'll get it done and we'll get started.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah. I just wanted to kind of clarify that, because if it's like 90 days later, you know, I don't know if you're going to like bill for it all up front. You know what I mean? 90 days later, you shoot them out an email, hey, by the way, just, you know, so you don't forget.
This is a good point. You don't want to wait. You don't want to do work for 90 days and then get paid. So if the proposal is, and you've not asked for the money up front, you then want to put installments in so that there's an income coming in on day 1, there's an income coming on day 30, and then day 60. Because then you've got your 3 parts. You can break it up into 3 parts, and then the next 90 days, all you got to worry about is closing up the campaign and finishing the work, and then turning up on that day 80 meeting to make sure that you then, you know, present the next thing.
Okay, so you're still though checking in and it being like, okay, it's, you know,
absolutely.
day 25, you're going to send them an email saying, hey, in 5 days, you're going to get billed the second third of the bill discussed.
I wouldn't actually like go, hey, you're going to get billed. Like it would be part of, if they were going to get 3 invoices over the next X days, then I would just mention that up front in the proposal. Like, it's either a once-off payment of this or it's 3 payments of this. Which would you prefer if you want to offer that? Like, okay, not to worry. It'll all get processed on the card. And then in the invoice, it'll just go out on the first of the month. And then in the little, I use Xero, Xero. You know, this amount is due on the 7th and you will be billed on the 5th of the month on the card on file. Regards, Stephanie Campanella. So that's okay. In like our invoicing, we say script or email that goes out.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to just take someone's, you know, just swipe a card and be like, hey, surprise. We're still moving forward. Nah, not at all.
I'm just trying to figure out where you put that info so that, just right there.
Right.
Email. Okay.
The other thing that we get really good at doing is we send a weekly update for all clients on an active plan, let's say. So a client that's in a 90-day plan, they would be getting an email at the top of the week going, hey, this is what we're working on. This is what we need from you. This is where we're at. You know, hope you're enjoying the process, kind of thing. And that way we're not just sitting there doing the work in a little cave. We're actually checking in with them every Monday and going, hey, we're still working. Just want to let you know. Because then you're like, they're not having to chase you. You're chasing them and going, hey, you know, we're still working here. I still need you to send me that thing. Can you send me that thing? So then they're on their toes.
Got it. Thanks.
Hey, William, what we've been doing is for bigger projects is, depending on how long it is, spec for, like, for example, the current one we're on, we billed 50% up front. We didn't set a start date till we got paid. And then in the proposal, it says that we will bill you another quarter of that, the whole project's at 6 weeks. Okay. If it's on a credit card, they know that. If it's not, they get an invoice. And then it has a date set for the final payment based on us delivering the requirements, not the site going live or anything like that. That's worked out pretty well. And we don't notify them in advance. It's in the proposal that they sign. They have to initial every page. So that seems to work real well. Also, with bigger projects, we schedule a 5 to 30-minute meeting every week at the same time with the customer to catch up. You know, what we owe them to get done, where we're at, and what they owe us to get completed. Stephanie, Aaron made a comment here, and I know that we've all had this problem.
Yeah.
Three websites stalled at the moment because of content. What's your thought about getting those restarted?
3 websites. Is it in the question box or?
Yeah, it's in the comments right at the top.
3 websites. Oh, here we go. 3 websites stalled at the moment because of content. LOL. Well, not funny. Laughing makes me get through it. Okay, so if a client was stalled because of content, I would literally go, here is Leanne. Leanne is my copywriter. We're going to write, you know, she's going to send you an invoice and we're going to write 3 pages of content for you. Does that work for you? 3 pages of content isn't the entire site. It's just a taster and it gets them on board. Yeah. So again, like little wins, because otherwise we're just going to keep moving forward otherwise, because content was your responsibility, right? So depending on how you've done the proposal, but if it was stalled because of content, I would be introducing a copywriter ASAP and getting them to go, look, this is what they cost. No, this is not up to me, because that's the other thing. People might think that was actually up to you. And maybe you stated it, but it wasn't stated clear enough. And they're not even sure what content is. Like, they know what words are, but content is actually the content on the site. Oh, I get it now. We don't know where they're at in terms of their education level. So if we've not got content, we go, hello, introducing X. I'm going to bring her into the room and she's going to talk about content. Does that work for you? Yes. I mean, you can go on a 3-way call and go, hey, this is my mate. Yeah. I would be introducing content ASAP. We've actually got a site right now that's a migration off Adobe Business Catalyst into WordPress. You know, it needs new content, 100%. But more importantly, it needs to get off Adobe Business Catalyst. So we're migrating this site with the existing content, and we're just going to go live as quickly as possible. And then we're going to hit her up for some more content and get the copywriter, which we've already introduced. Yeah, so it depends on what the job is, but I want to keep steamrolling ahead because it's more important to get a working site up and on the web on Google. Yeah.
There's a question there from Alexandra. Stephanie, do you craft a written proposal beyond your presentation?
So the second slide that I showed you, that's it.
Okay. If you have a solid, Rob said, I hope that's answered it, Alex. Okay, Christina said, can we see the second slide again? You had a proposal that you wanted to.
Yeah, $59. You can. It's on my site. There's a link there in the. It was in the PowerPoint slides, but $59. You can take my proposal, the one I actually sent to the client, and my default template, and then use it to your avail. I don't know if you can see this. Yes. Is it back up on the screen? Yeah. Yeah. I sell this $59 US. You get this, you get the actual one that I sent to the client. You get a Trello board for how to do social media for clients, how to sell social media, and how to plan out your entire week so that business mind orientated. So yeah, laundry list, detailed items, case studies, pull out points, position analysis, that's from SEM. rush, pull out points, analysis again, X amount a month. Here's what it's going to cost. Next slide. Hey, there we go. Pull out point and myself, yeah.
So, Steph, you said that you often don't do the cold client calls, and the quick wins are things that we would normally do ourselves if we're doing a site from scratch. So I would imagine it would be much easier to get the quick wins if you were getting a client that you hadn't built a site for, if that makes sense.
This, technically, this is not like a website. Yeah. This is not really a website proposal. Yeah, like this is like a fixer-upper and get someone on board for the next 90 days, like a care plan. You know, you go in, you fix their site. You take it
clients, I guess, is what I'm saying, because they're obviously not your web clients. They're new clients, but you're saying that these new clients aren't cold clients. So where are you getting them if they're cold clients?
If you built the site like ages ago, I mean, there's always things to do. So any existing clients could definitely use a 90-day refresher. And I'm sure they would actually welcome it. Like, where are you in Google? What's your social media look like? Actually, I ran this webinar a few weeks ago, and even a copywriter can use this template. What do you say? Someone in social media, like you can go, right, I audited all your socials, your Facebook profile and your Twitter profile and your LinkedIn profile. They all look different. If you're a business, one brand, you need to look synced online. These are all the elements that I audited that we can fix, and we're going to fix them over the next 90 days. You have no, design style template thing. We're going to actually sign you up to Canva. We're going to put some templates inside Canva. We're going to create the first few, and then we're going to hand it back to you so that you can keep creating content that actually is looking branded and synced across the board. Yeah. So even from a social media, quick wins, you could do it that way. And you can hand it back and go, hey, do you want to do the work or do you want us to do the work? Oh, we can do the work. No worries. Here's what it costs for us to do the work.
That's what I've just started doing is because, as you're doing as well, obviously with the Business Catalyst clients, we have to do a lot of work for them at the moment anyway. So my existing clients are the richest source of any proposals at this point.
Right.
So someone else sorry, you go.
Yeah, you could seriously just cold outreach. You can go to page 2 of Google in your niche, look at them. Are they the right kind of client? Look them up in LinkedIn. Are they even in LinkedIn? Does it look like they have, is there a one-man band, or are they actually like, a whole office of people? Who do you actually work with? And build a list. And then it's just a case of making it the most unspammy email or phone call you've ever had. Because obviously we all get, hey, your SEO sucks. I can fix that for you with Alakazam solutions. Can I please get you onboarded? I would be super happy to work with. It's like, whoa. You don't want to be one of those guys.
Cool. Beck said, so if you're cold prospecting, is it just a numbers game or is there a better way? You've kind of talked about that just now.
It's a numbers game. Yeah. So for us, we're in one of our niches, there's like a list 500 high. We basically walk through and go, right, here's 10 people that we're going to email top of the month. Is your website working for you right now? And just that's cold outreach. But I mean, they're on our list and they're getting our email every week. But now we're leaning in and actually talking to them. So it's still not cold. Like, they still know me and the business. Cold outreach for us would be if we literally Googled people in our niche and looked at plumbers and electricians and builders. We're like, well, here's like, a really good building company. And then here's you guys. And this is why you're not making any sales, because people have no idea what you do. So we can fix that for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Ursh, I'm going back up to the top here.
Mm-hmm.
And a comment that Rob Hole made about Duda, which I enlightened him on last week. So he's all over that now. But he says, which I didn't know. If anyone works in Duda, I see they have a content submission form on the agency plans. Have you looked at that, Rob?
Yeah, I got another look at it today. Actually, it's pretty sweet unit. You can I think it's just on their agency plan though, but there is a spot on there that you can actually go and you get a form. You can choose the fields you want on that form, and you send that custom link over to them. It's got your logo at the top and all that stuff. Pulls through the info, so when they go to submit their address, it pre-populates the different fields in Duda. So when they submit their address, you drop a map on the screen, it actually already comes preloaded with what they input. So it's kind of nice. It works like that. It grabs the data. They have steps further from there, but it's a lot more money to get into those plans. Like they've got their enterprise plan where they got the full website build outs too, where it will actually collect the info and build the website for them. And then you just go back in there and proof it. But those get to be a lot more money when you get into those plans. They suggest having over 100 sites on Duda before you get to that point.
Oh, really? Yeah. I'm on a reseller plan, but I'm not. They changed it after I signed up, so I'm not on an agency plan, but that's cool. Rob also made a comment in here, Steph. It says, if you have a solid process and you know when you'll be delivering what, you can also automate the follow-up emails, say some
Exactly.
in time. And Rob's going to be a guest in the future and talk about Active Campaign, I think. So
yeah exactly. And this is a thing in business, if we continually do something different every single time we bring on a new client, we are going to be real slow moving train. Yeah, but if we're taking up the same client and throwing him in the carriage and continuing to move the train forward, we're going to get this thing going really quickly. So yeah, if you're fixing this, and this on every single clients that you find, like, and then I guess going back to cold outreach, looking at page 2, do they have a broken footer? Do they have shitty stock images? Do they have crappy content? They're a perfect client for me. Let's bang them straight into the automation inside Active Campaign. Yeah, that's just absolute brilliant. Hello, Stephanie speaking.
That's an early call.
Who's that?
that was my phone, and it was a spammy call because the thing caught it and shut it off.
Alakazam Solutions, here to fix your SEO. Please take us.
Now that I know that your phone's on, I'm going to call you right now.
Yeah, it's muted.
Cool. I'm just looking through the questions, the chat box. Do you craft a written proposal beyond the presentation? Not really. Yeah, I try and keep this thing as simple as possible. Like, here's what we're going to fix. We're going to do it in 90 days. This is what it costs. That's pretty much it. Obviously, website, we've got like 3 or 4 pages worth of terms. You know, you are presenting the content, or you will pay for it. You know, all the bits. Content is so hard for clients to understand. Yep, it's a foreign word to them. Great upsell, 9 out of 10. Cool. I don't know. Is there any more questions?
Steph, before I forget, how can people get a hold of you? I know you have a closed group. Should I pop that link in the?
Yeah, I got a little hangout there where I don't know if you've got the link or.
I just popped it in there.
There it goes.
And also, Stephanie's been haunting me on Instagram for months now, so that
it worked, Steph.
I have.
In a good way.
Yeah, Instagram's like my thing. Like, you know, I'm in there all the time. It's a great tool to just talk straight to the person. So yeah, the Instagram is definitely my weapon of choice for social. Yeah, the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. I'm in there all the time. There's plenty of content, and I don't know, I like to remind you that, you know, if we're setting goals every week, then we should be able to have a better week than we had last week. So, you know, setting goals, having sales targets, that kind of thing. Yeah. I got a podcast. If you go to stephaniecampanella.com, There's a podcast. There's actually a free thing, Pathway to Profit. I've written the whole thing on, just the best tips. What do you say? Managing a business. A whole bunch of resources. 25 ways to build recurring revenue into your business. That's it. That's the end of the doc. So yeah, there's a lot out there if you start. Start digging.
Stephanie, you made the comment that you like Instagram.
Yeah.
Why? And do you see any difference between age groups to whom you're selling?
No, actually. So I got 2 Instagram business profiles. I got my personal branding, Stephanie Campanella or Stephanie_Campanella at Instagram, and then I got my tradies brand, Tradies Go. My tradies little niche Instagram is a hub of all the tradies across Australia, and it's just growing and growing. And I'm in there, saying whenever they follow me, I make sure I say, hey, thanks so much for following me. Awesome to meet you, dude. All the best. Actually, I was doing some cold outreach on Instagram. I was DMing a bunch of trades, perfect clients. And I was literally going, hey, I've got a process to generate more leads. Do you want to see it? And then if they said yes, then I shot them a link out to a YouTube video, which was actually a webinar that then had the opportunity to say, hey, we fix, service and location, making you a hero in your service location. So do you want to actually work with us? Like that worked really well. I mean,
one of the topics that Steph offered to talk to us about was about how to use Instagram, and that was my vote, but I got outvoted by everybody else.
It was my vote too. So
you have to have me back.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to. Man, Instagram is like phenomenal when it comes to generating relationships with people, building rapport, and then if it's a right fit, then getting them on board. Absolutely.
Why do you think that is?
It's unlike Facebook. It's actually the person, like, sitting there inside the channel. So often Facebook's like got the business page and it's got the personal page behind it, but the personal page, people are real funny about their Facebook. It's like, no, that's where my family hangs out. It's like, well, nah, because it's Facebook and everyone has your photos. Like they're all sitting in a database somewhere. It's definitely not for your family. Instagram, it's like I'm posting photos or I'm sitting on there just dormant and following people. Like the power is in the DMing, like direct messaging. You can simply find people and direct message them. And if they're active on Instagram, then they'll get your message and then you can have a conversation with them. And if it's the right fit, then you can maybe introduce yourself and, do a 90-day action plan.
What's your ideal account? Can you give me, what's your age, income, revenue? What's, like 5-6 attributes of your ideal account?
Minimum revenue should be about 200K a year minimum for us to come and do your SEO or do your marketing. They're typically around 32 to 40. They've got a house, a wife, kids. They've got trucks on the road. Then, like scaling up, if they're over the 1 million mark, then they've got trucks. That means we can do even more marketing for them. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
I know, excuse me, Barry, I think you said you had to leave on the dot, but obviously you, if there's other questions, please, from other people.
Yeah, I do have to hop off. This is our hour mark, so generally we just go another half hour if people want to keep chatting. I am going to hop off. Stephanie, thanks so much for hopping on with us tonight. And when you come on and talk about Instagram, I'll have my intro
ready to go.
I'm going to mute this and just turn my video off because I don't know if I get out of it'll kill it. So I'll leave it here and then Ursh will take it from here. Thanks. Glad everybody could join us.
So all this means is that Barry has had to leave, but you are welcome to stay and ask Steph some additional questions.
Hey, Steph, what's your actual average? I don't want to tie you down, but average 90-day plan costs to clients?
Anywhere
Or is it such a big line because you don't know how much, depending on what they actually need?
Anywhere from sort of $3,000, $6,000 and up. So what's that? I think from the smallest is 3.5 divided by 3. Yeah, it's about $1,000 a month. Yeah, I don't want to do anything for less than $1,000 from like just a basic, changes. Yeah, so I'd want to be going in, $1,500, $2,000, that kind of thing a month. So $6,000.
You're basing it all on the work you're actually. So do you work out the how much work you're going to have to put in, or do you just have slotted? Okay, this person slots into this value of this 90-day plan. This person slots into this value. This person slots into this.
Yeah, like Rob was saying, once you've done a few, you sort of get in a bit of a rhythm. Everyone's got a really crappy footer. The analytics isn't there. There's no robots text, no sitemap. Plugins are all out of date. So get in, we've got a whole process. Get in, fix all the do a backup first, fix the plugins, check. So we do a site speed analysis. We speed the site up. It's pretty much a laundry list of all the core things that can be wrong with the website that we're just going to fix from that base perspective. And we know, again, going back to basic math, it costs my developer so much money a month. It costs me so much money a month to get paid. So that over the next 3 months, what's it going to cost from how much time we're going to work on that job? That's what the minimum bill needs to be, rather than going, oh, this client looks like they got about $100. Let's just charge them $100.
Yeah, make a decision. Have you had any pushback from clients from the existing sites you've done with regards to, so you said sometimes you go back to existing clients that you've done a website for, say maybe 4 years ago, and then you then say, well, we can sell your 90-day plan. Have you had any pushback from them with regards to, well, you guys did the original website and you should have done this originally?
No, not at all, actually. Depending on what they've got is going to depend on what things we might roll out. Now, of course, we always roll sites out with sitemap, analytics, all the basics, yeah. So from I'm thinking of a interior designer chick that we did it for. Her site was great, looked awesome, great photos. But the copy could have been, more care. So we identified looking at analytics, we identified exit pages versus entry pages, bounce rate, and we looked at it more data specific. We're like, okay, we can actually deep dive a little further into this one. We're going to fix these pages, bang, bring the copywriter back in. The copywriter writes the content. We, do the implementation. So it was a little bit different for that lady. But
so it's essentially a website refresh.
I'm finding that anyone that I come to that I put a plan in front of them and I go, this is what we can do and this is why we're doing it. They're just like, thank you.
Right.
Because it's been on my list for so long. I don't know what to do. I don't trust anybody else. Thank you so much for focusing on me for this month. Please, here's my money, get paid.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, are there any other questions? Oh, here we go. Thank you.
If you have to add any paid plugins or any sort of additional services like backup services that go beyond the 90 days, do you just have the client pay for all that stuff?
Well, yeah, I would suggest, hey, we've actually found some key, you've got no backup, no one's doing security scans. Your plugins are all premium and who's paying for them? Are they even your registry keys? We'd actually introduce at that point a basic care plan so that on a fixed price every single month, we can actually manage all this stuff for you. Otherwise, here you go buy all this stuff. Yeah, we wouldn't want to be doing it out of our pocket.
Okay, thanks.
And we do that backup. I talked about a process before about getting a backup. The backup's for us in case we screw up. or we just don't know the website. So the first thing is take a backup and then a backup of the backup. We're not going to hand them the backup when we're done. That's for us and our work, just in case there's a fire and we'll have to run away. So if there was premium plugins and stuff, then yeah, I would definitely be hitting them up. I actually had yesterday a client that exited a care plan of ours, and the subscription for a $200 WooCommerce plugin came up. And yeah, we literally, we emailed them like, hey, you're no longer on the care plan, but your plugins are coming up now. You need to go and buy this. PS, you can come back and we'll pay for the plugin for you. We'll make sure it's implemented properly and we'll keep everything up to date. And hey, we'll do a speed test while we're here because your site's probably slowed down since the last 3 months you left us. So yeah. Good question.
I feel like I'm hogging all the questions. But
just go for it.
I do wait for a pause to see if anybody else is going to jump in. But so with regards to the plugin thing, do you find that clients, like I find what happens with clients is, like we've done sites that are not, say, on WordPress or on any sort of, depending on what you're using, but let's use WordPress as an example.
Yeah.
We've done sites that aren't on WordPress and don't need as much maintenance, I feel, as WordPress sites.
Okay.
And so for example, I have one client who wasn't on a WordPress site. We did the update to their site. So we did the original site. We then updated them and put them into WordPress because it was a cheaper option to do the update. But then now there's all this maintenance for plugins and updates that go on. Now, I see from your website that you do maintenance plans.
Yeah.
And is that separate than hosting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I find with clients, what I'm getting is, well, before I didn't need to do this and now I do. So before, when we had the website before, you guys seemed to just do it under the hosting plan, because it wasn't a WordPress site, and it didn't need all these updates. It didn't need all these plugins and all these attachments to it.
Yeah.
And now we've got all this other stuff attached to it.
Yeah. Back in like 2011, when I was an Adobe only partner and I was making $8 a site and all the hooray for $8. You know, I didn't have to do any maintenance. And then I joined the WordPress clan and I'm like, oh, there's all this maintenance. Perfect, because I'm going to take care of these clients and I'm going to bill you for the care that I will be on putting to your site. So I love maintenance. I think the point here, Christina, is, you know, you sort of said, oh, well, there was WordPress and then there was another CMS or like Wix or something. I think drawing a line in the sand and going, we build websites on WordPress. That is it. And if a client comes to us and they've got a Wix site, oh, but can't you just fix like this little bit? Like, no, I cannot fix this little bit of Wix because I know that Wix is not a good platform. So we only work on sites. I can migrate you 100%. Do you want to see what a proposal looks like for a migration? I mean, every tradie that we bring on, if their site's on Squarespace, Wix, whatever, we simply pick the site up and move it across to WordPress and start putting all our processes and stuff into it. Because that's the train. You need to pick it up, put it in the carriage and let it take off.
So you haven't had any pushback with regards to, I was sort of referring to sort of like a PHP site or a basic HTML site and going into WordPress. But so have you not had any pushback from clients with regards to
and if
the amount of maintenance
back,
that's being done?
They've walked away. Yeah. If they push back, they've walked away. And I don't want to work with someone who's doesn't want to be on the platform, you know, like that why should we? You know, if you think about your McDonald's and someone wants a Whopper, well, you got to go to Hungry Jack's for that. You know, we don't have fried chicken at McDonald's. We have cheeseburgers and they're delicious, but no, I can't serve you fried chicken here. So go get your fried chicken wherever the hell you want to get it from. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how we have to think. These are our products.
It's about your model, isn't it? It's about how your model works. Making a choice, drawing a line in the sand, and understanding that not everyone's going to be a customer.
Yeah, and probably the level that you're pitching at too.
Yeah. But you can move them up, you know. Yeah. You can get a client off a shitty website, put them on something that actually be from a low perspective, get that ranking, get them enough leads to then put some SEO in or some pay-per-click or some Facebook ads because it's dirt cheap, get more income coming in, like nurture them. That's a lot of work. But yeah. Yeah,
Another way to look at it is to say, you know, if there's no maintenance plan, nobody's looking at your site, making sure that it's running properly. Where if you have the maintenance plan, there's always somebody looking at your site, making sure it's working properly.
Yeah,
that's a nice way
exactly.
Yeah, I find clients think that the hosting is the maintenance plan. I've come across that, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. So just get really good at educating them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is your domain. This is your host. This is your rent, let's say. I always use like a house analogy. Like the domain is like the house. Yeah, that's how I like to do it. Put into like layman's terms.
And upsell.
And then upsell. Yeah. Because they need us. They need people that are skilled, that are going to help drive their business online. Who wants to go networking every week? Like, I've done that. I did that for 3 years. I networked my ass off and spent time in one room trying to talk to all these people. I would rather work on the internet. And I know my clients would rather be really visible on the internet, because there are thousands of people who need you. You're just not on page one yet. Rob's saying they only know what you've trained them to know. Exactly. Yeah, condition your clients. I'm definitely not pro McDonald's either. I'm all good with that. Cool. If there's nothing, I mean, there's no other questions.
we're quarter past the hour.
I feel like I don't even know what time it is. Like, time is just,
yeah,
I have no idea.
The lights you've probably dawn now. It's probably
dawn is breaking. The highlights are getting better.
Yeah. Okay, so this is your last chance to ask Stephanie any final questions. Da-da-da-da.
Before I roll.
If not, I would like to say thank you so much for joining us. You will definitely be asking you back, because even if it's for purely selfish reasons about Instagram, but that sounds like a really fascinating presentation as well. It's been super valuable. We will put the recording up as soon as that is ready, and the link to purchase that care plan. We really, really appreciate your time, especially so early in the morning.
No worries. Now, legend. Like I am very accessible online. So there was a bunch of links up there. Jump into my Facebook group if you want to interact with me directly, or jump into my Instagram. Get the free thing on my website, Pathway to Profit. Go and grab the $59, proposal template, the 90-day action plan. Get my 2 Trello boards along with it. 15-minute phone call with me to fix sales. That's all in one pack. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And
cool beans. All right. Thanks everyone for the questions.
Cool. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you, Stephanie. And I'm going to formally end the meeting. See you all next time.
All right. Ciao.
Ciao.